Ah, that was long. Two boys were talking with each other. One said, "It only felt long because you guessed the answers for all the questions," and proceeded to stare blankly at the paper. Kim responded, "Correct." The other boy asked, "Huh?" Kim clarified, "Huh? They're not even real adventurers. Students from one of the specialized high schools." He said, "Look at the logo, stupid. They're from Warrior High School." The event that occurred started without a single warning. The other boy began telling about the event where a large dragon appeared, causing fire. A world similar to Earth existed across the universe. On that planet, a certain event had occurred, and the planet was torn to pieces. As a result, the remnants of that planet started flying towards Earth, with a meteoroid crashing onto Earth. Fire erupted, and parts of our planet started to fuse with theirs. That was the adhesion phenomenon. That's how the unusual laws of nature and a variety of monsters were introduced to Earth. With that, 17% of the Earth's area was affected, and humans lost control over the land. The danger zone eventually became known as dungeons. A horned horror with a single horn, classified with strength B, stamina C, and agility C, was introduced. The number of horns increased with respect to the strength of the monster. There is a scene where a soldier is trying to attack the monster. The monster steps towards the soldier, and despite the soldier shooting, the monster hits him. "We weren't given any time to prepare for these monsters," the narrator explained. The description of a male human's attributes followed. Strength D, stamina D, agility D, trained. Humans, as a species, didn't have the ability to do anything. However, we were fortunate. Disaster wasn't the only thing that came from the otherworld. The soldier came back and started fighting with the monster that came from the otherworld. The natural limits that humans, as a species, and the limitations to our potential caused by the natural law of Earth, we completely shattered, the narrator continued. The soldier's strength changed from B to A. Although this was a phenomenon that affected all humans on Earth, the chosen few decided to train. Individuals who utilized their newfound potential and abilities, they were special agents working for that sole reason and were known as adventurers. The scene shifted to a team of monsters and human fighters. The team of human fighters successfully killed the monsters. And that's how the era of dungeons and the era of adventurers began, the narrator explained. The entire world praised their accomplishments and were inspired by their strength. Not long after that, organizations focusing on the training of adventurers were created throughout the world. The best adolescent training facility in the Republic of Korea was the world-renowned Soldier High School. The scene changed back to the two boys talking earlier. One said, "Did you know? They even count what happens in the dungeon as a test. They got approval for that? What if they die?" He said, "That's how confident they are. There's a reason why they were accepted to that school in the first place." As people discussed, "Whoa, that's crazy. He's so damn good looking. Seriously, OMG. Look at his skin. Mixed blood elves are something else." The same two boys appeared again, and one of them said, "Huh? What the hell is that?" The other responded, "You don't know? He frequently appears on TV too." Kim added, "D of Choi. His father is a famous adventurer, and his mother is an elf." The other boy remarked, "They say he's a genius. People claim that he'll enter the top rank of adventurers within 5 years of graduating." A boy appeared with the caption, "D of Choi, 17, Soldier High first year, returning from the dungeon 14 times." The crowd reacted with excitement. The same two boys appeared again. Kim said, "It's not like he's an idol. What the hell is wrong with people?" The other boy replied, "You aren't any better than them for getting angry at him." Kim, angered, responded, "What the hell did you say?" The conversation shifted when the other boys said, "Oh, yeah. Jaeryong, you're working today, right? I heard that Lee Yoonji went to a karaoke place with her friends." A passing boy remarked, "Yeah, sorry, hope you guys have fun, though." Kim insisted, "Come on, you're doing this even after exams are over? Just skip work and come with us." The passing boy agreed, "Yeah, fine. Well, I guess you have no choice. Good luck." He said, "Okay, see you next week." The boy discussing with Kim commented, "Be a little more sensitive, won't you? Think before you speak." Kim replied, "Oh, do you not know why Jaeryong is doing all of this?" Scene change. An old man is lying on a bed, touching his head, while a boy sits nearby. A message appears on a mobile phone. Web alert: you have not paid your hospital bills for May and June. XX Bank 000-222-3333, 00 Bank 00x5551111. Total amount, 302,521,200. Please pay the amount indicated above. Feel free to give us a call if necessary. Another boy receives a message on his mobile phone. Come in, we have work to do. Another boy waves his hand. The boy is seen going somewhere. Scene changed to two boys talking. Why? Did that kid do something to you? The other replies, no, it's just that. Scene changes again to the boy who is going somewhere. Ha damn it, I don't want to work. He arrives at an unknown place where others are already present. He says, hey, you're here. Three persons are there, one of them says, he's the client for today's job. Im Jae-won, broker. The boy responds, nice to meet you. Another person exclaims, are you kidding me? I thought you'd assign your best worker. The other replies, he is our best, though. The person complains, I thought you'd assign your best worker. The other retorts, listen to me, you damn bitch. I didn't come here to get scammed by idiots like you. The boy intervenes, aren't you being a little too harsh? The three continue discussing. Get that fucking kid out of my face. Bring me someone who's actually good at their job. Otherwise, I'll make the two of you regret it. The boy addresses a big guy, hey, big guy, are you an adventurer? Oh, sorry. He then comments, I guess you were an adventurer. That's why you're looking stupid behind that old man. The two complain to their boss. What's with this bitch? Boss. One of them suggests, there's no need to continue this conversation. I'm sure a broken arm and leg will teach him a lesson. The boy's name is Lee Pilju, a silver rank adventurer returning from the dungeon. Pilju's companion cheers, yeah. I knew you'd know how to do things like this, Pilju. Their boss warns, if you want to save yourself, get on your knees and beg before he does anything. The boy, Yoo Jae-young, is contemplating, oh my god, what should I do? He is a donk and high first-year dungeon smuggler returning from the dungeon. The heinous criminals that endanger the world. What is dungeon smuggling? The soldiers that killed a dragon every day, adventurers work hard to explore dungeons. They are able to attain countless treasures. However, before adventurers exit the dungeon, the treasures must be handed over for inspection. This is because many of them have incredible strength. If such things are let to circulate without permission, they could be used for evil, putting lives at risk. As such, the Adventurers Association must first register these treasures, and then levy taxes on them according to their worth. A person appears to be discussing and talking with two soldiers. Two devil-like characters are watching them. However, there are people that violate this rule. They entice adventurers who don't want to pay these enormous taxes and secretly pocket treasures. If these people aren't caught, then society as a whole will be at a loss. The devil-like characters run, and a person is catching them because they are running with something. The man catches them and ties them. So everyone, the scene changes to the boss, where have you gone? If you see these kinds of bad guys, hurry and report them to the association. One of the companions of the boss says, hey you there. Are you really going to let this happen? The other companion is sitting in front of Ju. The boss said to his companion, huh? Are you getting scared after coming this far? He replied, you're the ones that should be scared. That guy's got a nasty temper. The reason behind his retirement wasn't injuries, it was assaulting teammates. If you think he'll go easy on him because he's a kid, we might just end up having to clean up his corpse. Ju said, assaulting teammates isn't that really scary? So you were an actual criminal, huh? The boss's strong companion replied, that pathetic guy was only dragging me down. I simply disposed of some trash. Ju commented, trash disposal. So that's what you meant. So you're well aware that you're trash, that's why you purposely caused trouble and lost your license, huh? While one of the boss's companions attacked Ju with a punch, he continued, I see assaulting a teammate would be, but attacking me out of nowhere is rude. His companion, infuriated, and Ju said, guess I'll return as he launched a light kick. The boss calmly watched, but the other companion uncomfortably observed. I told you I brought in the most skilled person I know, Ju said. That was a surprise. With the way you look, I thought you would be a little tougher. Lee Pilju was at a loss. He thought of this smuggling teen as a mere child. However, those reflexes and the force behind the kick launched at his chin had already reached the domain of a pro. The boss remarked, looks like he's starting to understand. This might not be a fight he's able to win. The companion added, look here. That kid's pretty good, but that was just a single kick. That bastard Pilju's always been. The boss concluded, yeah, well I can get a feel for him. Pilgyu tore his shirt, displaying a physique that suggested he was a formidable tank. The boss responded, "Hey, don't stare at me like that. I can read between the lines." Pilgyu retorted, "Whatever cheap tricks you decide to use, you're still a smuggler scum. I'll show you after the adhesion." People began to awaken abilities that exceeded their limitations. However, every person would have different builds and talents and, as expected, would awaken different latent abilities. Adventurers, of course, undertook training that matched their abilities and assigned roles to themselves. And one of them is the tanka position, in which you protect your teammates from the dangers of the dungeon. Their role is to face monsters head-on at the front line. The strength of their body, trained to its limits, allows them to shrug off bullets from personal weapons. And the top-tier tanks can even take the overwhelming firepower of missiles easily. They are precisely a protective barrier. This is a real adventure. Pilgyu struck the ground fiercely, causing an earthquake-like effect with soil flying. One companion reacted with surprise, while another exclaimed, "Eek," the boss inquired, "Are you alright?" Despite the chaos, the boss remarked, "Anyway, what a punk. Is he really going to wreck someone else's place of business like this?" Pilgyu launched another attack on Ju, who calmly responded, "What's wrong? Why aren't you pulling any cheap tricks like before?" Ju added, "Sorry, but I'm no fool. I have no intention of stepping into an obvious trap." Boss. His physical force is around the level of a decent truck. If you were to be hit, every bone in your body would be pulverized. Boss continued, "Hurry up and end it, Jaryong. You'll get your pay docked if there's any more damage." Ju muttered, "Damn, it looks like your boss hasn't gotten a grip on what's going on." Pilgyu confidently asserted, "I'll tell you this now. Your cheap tricks won't be able to pierce the techniques of a pro." Ju responded, "That doesn't sound too bad," and added, "This should be good enough." In light of their overwhelming durability, the public believes tanks to be unbeatable beings. Boss declared, "It's over." However, that is not the case. They have a clear weakness, a natural enemy, an entity that can focus a powerful, destructive force in a single point. For example, a damage dealer that is far more skilled than them. In the ongoing fight between Ju and Pilgyu, Ju wielded a pole. He hit and beat Pilgyu again. "Would have no issue destroying a protective barrier like that," boss remarked. Pilgyu, struggling, asked, Where did you learn to swing that?" Ju replied, "Where'd I learn this? What are you talking about?" He added, "I don't know what you're thinking, but you're mistaken." Another voice chimed in, "Well, he might not be. There's a chance he's seen him before." Ju revealed, "My father. When I was very young, my father was the greatest adventurer to me. It wasn't because he was my father. His name was Yu Seong. He was one of the first-generation heroes who could be called the first-ever adventurers. To those who haven't experienced it themselves, the history of the first generation is a great legend, but to the adventurers of that time, it was hell. More than anything, there wasn't enough information. What kind of place dungeons were, and what kind of monsters dwelled within. Monsters that are now considered easy to defeat were, to the adventurers of that age, an unknown calamity. It was a time when there weren't any skills to fight the monsters nor the items which are so common now. The fight between a person and a monster behind is filled with agonizing sounds. Uea. In such desperate conditions, first-generation adventurers went through trial and error, risking their lives. The survivors passed on experience and accomplishments to the next generation and were established as heroes. Dragon Slayer Yu Seong, a nickname given to the first person ever to hunt down a dragon and the person who was Asia's top-ranking adventurer. That person was also my father, and I respected and revered him more than anyone in the world. I believed him to be invincible. The cause was poison. During his explorations, father had come across a deadly poison. Like any other time, father tried to overcome it, but after decades of overworking himself, his body was already at its limit. The colleagues that father trusted his life with took advantage of father's vulnerability and took his fortunes and work. For years, he suffered both mentally and physically. The boy said, "Father." Years later, when the world was beginning to forget the Dragon Slayer Yu Seong, father lost his identity as a hero after losing everything and suffering from an incurable poison. All that was left in his stead was a forgotten adventurer. The boss said, "Well, that went smoothly." His companion said, "He lost Pilgyu to a young kid." Boss said, "Well, probably because he wasn't a good adventurer." Ju said, "Bragging about beating up his own colleagues, that's a telltale sign that he's weak." He added, "There are only two reasons why a good adventurer retires. Ju then said, their bodies broken to the point that they can't explore anymore or they die during an exploration. Ju continued, I don't know what the wage was, but if it's more than minimum wage, it'd be better to fire him. Anyone can act strong, you know? The boss remarked, that's a bit harsh. Trying to justify their actions, the boss added, please try to understand us a bit. Ah, and the pay for the work just now is doubled. The companion of the boss exclaimed, what kind of bullsh? The boss responded, you were the one to provoke us first, right? We don't do anything for free, you know? The companion reluctantly said, alright, I understand. The boss then addressed someone named Jaryong, saying, have you heard of the Emperor Wasp? Ju asked, have to fight that, do we? And added, that's a bit much. The Emperor Wasp, a monster whose degree of danger is considered the highest not just in Korea but all over the world. What was once Ukwido, where the Emperor Wasp had made its nest, became Korea's demon realm with the highest difficulty. The boss explained, even for a top-ranking adventurer, taking on one of them is difficult. Adding, those things are flying all over the place there, so for a smuggler level, well, it's impossible. But for a white-rank adventurer? According to that man, there was a huge raid yesterday that wasn't publicized. The government's army and 7 white-rank adventurers made up an attack squad. Ju was surprised. 7 The boss continued, you can say most of Korea's all-stars. The media goes crazy when just 2 of them get together. They failed to accomplish their original goal of eradication, but it seems they succeeded at hunting down the queen bee. However, one of the 7 stole the royal jelly of the Emperor Wasp and ordered a subordinate within the attack squad to smuggle it out. Ju asked in disbelief, what jelly? The boss clarified, royal jelly. It's a nutritional supplement that the wasps feed to a newborn queen. Ju questioned, nutritional supplement, why would a white-rank adventurer hire a smuggler just for some nutritional supplement? The boss explained, there were a few occasions when an Emperor Wasp's royal jelly was brought into the world. From what I know, if a human eats it they can come back from the dead. All the pathways leading to the dungeons are strictly managed, this is what the Adventurers Association and the government have always claimed. Of course, that wasn't the truth. I always say this, but be careful not to die, got it? The boss said, this job is going to be especially annoying. Ju, seemingly distracted, was asked by the boss, come on, what are you doing? The boss was wondering why Ju wasn't paying attention to what he was saying. Is it because of that? The boss asked. The boss then mentioned a medicine so powerful it could even bring back the dead. He asked Ju, are you still hung up on that? Ju replied, there's no point though. He added, things like that are always blown out of proportion. Yeah, Ju continued, even if it's considered an antidote that's second to none, it wouldn't be able to cure my father's condition. He sighed, if there was something like that in the first place, my father would have never. His voice trailed off, leaving the sentence unfinished. The reality of his father's condition weighed heavily on him. The hope of a miracle cure, no matter how unlikely, was a thought he clung to. But deep down, he knew the truth: some things are beyond even the most powerful of medicines. Let go of his string of hope, the narrator began, setting the tone for the tale. After the cataclysmic event known as the adhesion, dungeons sprouted across the earth like malignant growths. Among these, 2 stood out as the greatest within the confines of Korea. The first was Jeju-do, a dungeon that had fused with a volcanic mountain range, its fiery heart pulsating with untold dangers. The other was a dungeon that had melded with the Eiger jungle, once a verdant oasis in the heart of Seoul, now a treacherous labyrinth of death and despair. This former Borami, once a low-ranked dungeon, had evolved into a formidable adversary, now holding a rank of D+. With Yaoido at its epicenter, the dungeon had spread like a plague, consuming Meipo, Yongsan, and Yingdungpo in its wake. Most of it remained shrouded in mystery, its dark corners unexplored, claiming the lives of many adventurers who dared to venture into its depths. The boss, a grizzled veteran of countless battles, speculated about the fate of a subordinate who had managed to transport something to the meeting area, only to lose contact thereafter. Maybe he ran away. No, I don't think he would, so it's most likely an accident or injury, he mused. He then turned to Ju, his gaze stern yet understanding. He must have dealt with all kinds of shit to get out of there, he said, acknowledging the hardships the subordinate must have faced. He added, well, all you have to do is get on site and bring back what he had if you find it. Let me finish my thoughts, don't get distracted, and just focus on the job for now. Ju, his eyes reflecting a mix of determination and apprehension, asked, do you think I'd run away from you? The boss replied, no, you're not that stupid to do that. Just be really careful. Remember. The royal jelly of a sky wasp is precious. The boss's words echoed in Ju's mind as he prepared for the daunting task ahead, the weight of his responsibility pressing down on him like a mountain. The story continues. Humans aren't the only ones who are willing to risk their lives to get it, the speaker declared. I'm sure the entire forest should be smelling like it too. Ju said, damn it, what the hell? I'm sure plenty of things are going to be attracted by its smell. Jin Saram, first year at Warrior High, she currently is facing the biggest problem of her entire life. It should have been an easy trip to the dungeon for her midterm. But instead, what she faced was a monster that never should have been there. What is that? The test was simple. Within the given time limit, collect as many coins that were placed within the dungeon as possible. Although it was a test used to simulate real combat situations, the test area was the lowest rank possible. It should have been easy. That's because it was considered a beginner's training ground. Even the monsters that happened to live there were weak and had low intelligence levels. She realized in that instant that all she had left was to hope for a miracle, and even then, she decided to fight back. Titan 8, Juvenile, Danger Rank. Behind the scene, a girl is fighting with a monster. No matter how many shots I take, piercing it is impossible. Yeah, I can't kill you with my attacks. There's no need for you to dodge or block it. Just a little closer. Just let your guard down. Jin Saram, a magic ranger, imbued magic on her arrow tips. A skill called flame bombardment. The type of magic that can be imbued on the tip of an arrow was limitless. What she decided to choose as a last resort was an explosion at the greatest magnitude she could manage. It should have been enough to kill any monster with a danger rank of 3 stars. Of course, that's only if she can manage to land the shot. He dodged it. He jumped before I even shot the arrow. I can't do it again. What should I do? I need to run. Ju emerged, relentlessly striking the monstrous creature, while the girl observed in awe. I managed to land a solid blow on its chin, but Ju lamented, his efforts seemingly insufficient. Undeterred, he leaped onto the monster for a frontal assault. The impact of his forceful strike surprised the onlooking girl, who exclaimed, that's impossible, he's risking his life. Close your eyes. Ju commanded as he unleashed a blinding light from his tool. The girl complied, shutting her eyes to the intense radiance. Regretfully, Ju remarked, geez, I used them all up even though that was my last one. His tool, a stunning torch crafted from the scales of a flickering fish found in deep-sea dungeons, possessed an incredible incapacitation ability. Once beloved by many adventurers, its misuse led to a decline in abilities among users, resulting in a strict ban on its production and usage. Turning sternly to the girl, Ju declared, look here, if I've done this much for you, you ought to take responsibility for your own life. You only have a few seconds left. He emphasized the importance of adventurers being aware and proactive inside dungeons. No matter what happens, if an adventurer doesn't take notice and isn't antagonized, they won't help. The setting shifted, and the boss declared, frankly, it's because we're like cockroaches. He added, did you know? The bounty on smugglers is pretty sweet. The scene transitioned back to the boy and girl. If you mess around carelessly, you will just get stomped, warned the boy. Puzzled, the girl asked, huh? He suddenly disappeared? She continued, I'm sure he was right in front of me just now. Suddenly, the boy reappeared, exclaiming, you're so foolish. He struck the girl and put her down. Surprised, she questioned, hey, what are you doing? Attempting to express gratitude, she said, I wanted to thank you for saving me. The boy retorted, are you messing with me? Do I look like a fool to you? With his rod on her neck, the girl explained, that's not the only reason why I came. I'm well aware that you're a smuggler. That's why I want to offer you a job. I don't intend to overlook this a third time. The boy asserted, neither do I have any interest in learning how crazy a silver spoon-sucking warrior high student is. Threateningly, he added, I'll bury you for real if you get in my way again. The girl revealed, the bounty on smugglers is 50 million won. The bounty for poachers should be 400 million 5,000 won. The boy dismissed her, saying, you idiot. Enkil's blood. You can buy just one by catching 5 people like you. The girl's eyes turned red as she said, this is just the down payment. If you help me with my midterms, I'll pay you the rest as well. The boy was taken aback, exclaiming, whoa, that's insane. I thought you were just a spoiled brat, but it looks like you're filthy rich and absolutely out of your mind. The girl responded, what does it matter whether I'm crazy or not? Right now, what's important is that this could be an opportunity to change your life. The boy chuckled, saying, ha, I figured things would turn out like this. He admitted, alright, this was my bad. There really wasn't any reason to kill you, but. Confused, the girl asked, what are you talking about? Suddenly, the monstrous creature reappeared. The boy reminded her, I told you before, you only had a few seconds. I didn't hand it to you just so you could stare at it. He exclaimed. You remember that strike you dealt earlier? Do that again. Instructing her further, he said, cast it at the end of my staff and throw it back to me. The girl hesitated, confessing, wait. I don't have any magic power left. The boy insisted, well, you figure that out. I don't think I'll be able to take aggro for you bare-handed for very long. He continued, I barely have a quarter of my magic power left. I won't be able to do any damage to the monster with that amount of power. Instead, I'd rather just run away by myself while he's got that thing's attention. The girl, with a hint of madness, admitted, I really am crazy. Disappointed, the boy responded, I'm disappointed. This is hardly a quarter of what you launched before. Undeterred, the boy prepared to attack again. He shared wisdom, saying, well, I guess this much should be enough. The students of Warrior High have heard this more times than they can count. When fighting a monster, the most important thing is not brute force alone, but the sense for timing and accurately aiming your attacks. In other words, what adventurers must temper above anything. The boy once again attacked, landing a powerful blow on the monster. The story began in the evening, with Sarum bidding farewell to her guardian, who casually said, see you tomorrow. Lucky Sarum, she could have whatever she wanted. And it wasn't an exaggeration. Sarum, the successor of the Jinseong Group, a South Korean business ranked 4th, had nearly everything at her fingertips. The engagement of the group's heir to an elf from another world resulted in Jin Sarum. Sarum, who respected adventurers more than anyone and dreamt of being one herself, was escorted in a car by her driver. Scene changed. A boy remarked, it's impossible. Your elf blood is too weak. You might as well just be human. Yet you continue to push her into it instead of convincing her otherwise? Jin Seung Jae, Sarum's father and the head of Jinseong Group's special development, clarified, I'm not pushing her. I'm cheering her on since that's what she wants. The boy, addressing Jin Seung Jae, stated, well. That's true. For a human, she's not that bad either. But she's still only a bit above average. He continued, and let me make it clear. Your daughter isn't just a human from a normal family. She won't give up on her own. She's as stubborn as my sister. She won't ever compare to the monster rank humans. But if she keeps trying, she might be somewhat decent. It'll be enough to bring in praise and recognition for a regular human. As the boy spoke, Sarum appeared, ready to face the challenges ahead. But your daughter was born with so many other benefits compared to her lack of talent, wealth, name, and bloodline. Those things will make her efforts useless, and people will laugh at her with envy. She might be completely isolated. She won't be able to deal with it for long. The scene shifted to a boy and a girl. The boy skillfully attacked the monster's neck, demonstrating that talent isn't something that just falls out of the sky. He literally killed the monster, leaving the girl in awe. She exclaimed, no way. Similar age as me. The focus changed to a boss cautioning, be careful not to break it. It's pretty expensive. Ju, sitting in front of the boss, remarked, this is like 5001 if you go to Daiso. The boss explained, no, it stops facial recognition, changes your voice, there are more than 4 magic spells on it, buddy. Ju sighed. The scene shifted back to the boy and girl. The boy expressed, things aren't going so well today. He asked the girl, are you Sunbae from my school? The girl inquired, from my school. The boy clarified, Sunbae. He added, give me what you promised. Commenting on the situation, he muttered, ugh, rich kids. The boy then said to the girl, you need more money, right? The girl, understanding, replied, I understand. Even if you don't go to my school, the Adventurer Education Center's tuition is pretty high. The boy declared, maybe I could pay for I don't attend any place. Perplexed, the girl asked, huh? You're wrong. The boy clarified, I don't go to some adventurer school, I haven't even gone near one. Surprised, the girl questioned, then who taught you to fight? The boy confidently replied, no one. I taught myself. The girl, in disbelief, exclaimed, what? What kind of nonsense is that? Movement like that, timing, you've gotta be kidding me. The boy handed over his school ID card, revealing that he is Ju, the same person who talked with the boss earlier. His real name is Yu Jaryong. He nonchalantly said, you don't need to try and remember it. It's just a humanities school. The girl, named Jin Sarum, couldn't believe it, saying, No way whether it makes sense or not. The boy insisted, hand it over. Something to prove your identity, whether it's a student ID or something else. You observed Saram's ID, remarking, you're the same age as me. Saram, still processing the situation, questioned, wait. Why are you keeping my student ID? You replied, huh? I thought you wanted me to do something for you. Saram, realizing her identity was revealed, said, my identity's been revealed, so I gotta take something of yours so you don't turn your back on me. You wasn't finished. He approached her and took a selfie, stating, proof of accomplice instead of a contract. You know that a smuggler's accomplice receives the same punishment as a smuggler, right? At that moment, Saram realized that she might have gotten involved with someone more dangerous than she thought, but it was too late and everything had already begun.